All right. Well, welcome to Nourish and Flourish. This is an info session that we really want to get out to the world. Thanks for being here, Judy. And we're excited to send this as a recording out to a bunch of people and please share widely. This info session is specific to our upcoming program, Nourish and Flourish, which is specific to weight wellness, but again, it's a stepping stone, it's a foundation to really transform your life from really looking at gut health and looking at the gut brain connection and how that is what we use as the foundation in regenerative health. It is what controls everything in our body, all of our body's systems. So thank you for being here. Feel free to come on screen if you would like. Make yourself comfortable. And we're just about to share some super valuable information that we've learned over the years that we feel will help you feel lighter and stronger and more resilient in your body. So my name is Jillian Abraham. I come from a farming background. I owned a commercial farm for multiple years back in 2010. And I stepped away from that to become a mother. I have never stopped growing food though. I now have a family homestead and a small herbal company. I'm also a regenerative health practitioner, which is how I've been working with clients one-on-one to really connect them with whole foods and the power of whole foods and lifestyle to really decrease, if not eliminate, many symptoms and disease that so many of us struggle with. I'm incredibly passionate about just helping people thrive in their bodies and understand that suffering it's fully optional. We have the power to heal our bodies. And what I've learned through my own journey with regenerative health and detoxification is that the environment in my body is actually what is creating the suffering. A cell, it cannot be a healthy cell if the environment that it is sitting within is not a healthy, and we'll get into this, but alkaline environment. So regenerative health, it's simply a path of detoxification to reverse disease and regenerate at a cellular level.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Lindsey Scott, and I am also a certified regenerative health practitioner. I'm a yoga instructor, and I'm also a breathwork facilitator. Just like Jillian, I'm super passionate about supporting people to vibrant health, and I use a lot of small shifts for radical change. I also really focus on earth medicines, mindset, movement, and being in community. I love community. I have two daughters, and I love to travel, and I love learning. I could just take course after course after course, and I love just being here in community. So welcome, and thank you for being here. Okay, so today we're going to talk about what you're going to walk away with. So today you're going to walk away with the knowledge that will help you feel more vibrant, to manage your weight, and to say goodbye to the roller coaster of weight loss and gain. And a lot of us probably can relate to that. We also want to talk about how we can detox from years of toxic overload that contribute to unnecessary weight gain or loss in our body, and how to sustain our most ideal weight, our physical strength, and our emotional well being so that we can feel best in our bodies. We're hoping also that you'll gain an understanding of proper nutrition and how the body must not only digest our food. Obviously, we all know that's super important, but also we need to be able to absorb our food and then use it. We want to be able to utilize it and then eliminate properly. And so these things are key to feeling the best in our skin physically, mentally, and even emotionally. So if you're ready and you want to support, if you want to learn more, we're here for this. But we also have the knowledge, and we're going to share with you a little bit more about how we can guide you. So we are creating a really supportive community that you can learn within. And whether that's if you just follow along on our Instagram pages or join webinars like this, but we're also creating a container that you're going to hear a lot more about. And it's a upcoming group program. It becomes coming up in just a couple weeks. We're gonna start that program. We're gonna tell you more about that in just a minute.
So, just a little bit about my journey and how I've gotten from point A to point B. And I am continuing to grow and just really feel better in my body. But for years, really my entire adult life from age 14 to I'm now 39, I had dealt with ailments that were extremely painful and limiting in my daily life. Um, I had endless headaches, chronic inflammation throughout my muscles and joints, constant bloating in my just belly and digestive system as a whole, and most just intensely, I had menstrual cycles that regularly sent me to the ER. Emotionally was what I really struggled with because I felt so alone and not understood, and really just being such like a tough northeastern farmer, and I was embarrassed. I'm not someone who shows my weaknesses, yet I was really struggling. So the physical, mental, and emotional pain was just a roller coaster for me. And that imbalance and unhappiness put strain on not only the relationship with myself, but my relationship with other people. And that was kind of the kicker for me. So 4 years ago, I was to the point of just extreme frustration after seeing primary care, after naturopath, chiropractor, acupuncturist, like everything, everyone under the sun. And none of those modalities were helping me or resonating to the point of actually going beyond the obstacles. And I was just sick of ignoring the symptoms and accepting them as normal. So, of course, over so many years, I had been covering up that pain with what I knew, coming from a service industry also and being in restaurants my whole life. What was so accessible was overworking, using alcohol, pharmaceutical and recreational drugs. And what all of those did was just further hardened my rigid shell that I had really been born with. Um, and then a dear friend and another farmer, colleague and board certified health coach introduced me to a whole food nutrition company. And this company had been at the forefront of regenerative health for over 25 years, which I was pretty impressed with when I did my research. And my skepticism kind of faded over time, and I jumped in and I immediately started feeling better, which nothing else had given me those results. Over time, the pharmaceuticals, the surgical recommendations, the harmful drinking and drugs, all of these things that I had kind of been using in moderation, but still using regularly in my life, they started slipping away and people started noticing, which made me start noticing how much I was changing. Because those habits and addictions, they no longer held a purpose in my life. And my energy started to soar. And over time, my relationship with myself and others really strengthened. So, this transformation from chronic exhaustion and pain in my life to more ease and clarity and comfort, it was pretty incredible. And the energy, the less brain fog, the better digestion, less bloating, it really impacted my daily life. I was able to ride my bike harder. I love cycling, and my mood was lighter and more joyful. I wasn't digging as deep to be happy, and this humor inside of me that I did know always existed started coming out more and more, especially with my husband and son, which is the most important thing in my life.
Thanks, Jillian, for sharing that. It's a lot what we can go through to get to a place of like really needing that next thing. Um, so if you're at home, if you're listening to a recording, we would love for you to kind of turn this inward to yourself. So you can grab a notebook if you want, or if you have a pen nearby, or even just, notes in your phone, or you can actually type this into the chat if you're willing to share. And we want to know this from you. how would your life be different if you lived with your ideal body? And so that could be your ideal body weight. If you were free of your discouraging symptoms, whether that be anywhere from sleep or skin or bad digestion, how would your life be better? How would it be better if you were free of those discouraging symptoms? And how would you feel in your body? So just take a moment. Just take a moment with that question. You can again write it down, put it in the chat, put it into your phone as your notes so you can refer back to it. How would your life be different if you lived with your ideal body? And again, that can be anything from weight, skin, sleep, anything. Because we all have our struggles, right? So I too struggled with many of these things that we say are common, but it doesn't mean that they're normal. I had a lot of heavy, painful, long periods since I started my cycle as a teenager. I had joint pain. I had a lot of insomnia, especially after I had my two daughters, um, and as well as extreme constipation. I was living with for like years and years and years and years. Fatigue. I had hemorrhoids even before I became pregnant. After pregnancy, I had a lot of anal fissures. I've always struggled with cold sores, bouts of strep throat as a child, nausea, stomach bugs, food sensitivities, yeast infections. I mean, the list goes on and on. And again, a lot of people told me these are really common, including my doctors, but really they're not normal. So as I grew more spiritual in my yoga practice, I knew I wanted to seek more natural medicine and move away from conventional and allopathic medicine because those things weren't really seeming to help and they were seeming more like band-aids. I found naturopathic medicine, and those seemed like a really great next step for me. And they were more aligned to my journey that I was on. But again, they also just became another band aid method. And I realized that they never were getting to the root cause of my issues. Along the way, also, I knew that my body really needed more nourishment. I needed more nutrient dense food that I could actually absorb and utilize and get to give me back my energy and the life force that I was seeking instead of feeling fatigued and tired all the time, especially as a parent. And it was around this time that I was also introduced to superfoods that are grown in regenerative soils. And like Jillian, I was also like, man, this isn't going to help. This is just another thing. But the term regenerate really piqued my interest because I've also been a farmer and really am passionate about the soil. So it became more and more a part of my life. Welcome, Haley. And luckily for me, the people that I chose to link arms with within the superfood company all happened to be regenerative health practitioners. And so I started to pay attention what they were talking about, and like all their reels and all the things that they were recommending. And they were using these same superfoods that I was using as a vehicle to help their clients to reverse their leaky guts and their weak adrenals and their nervous systems. So I became more and more fascinated with what was happening in my body and how well it was working, and as well as anyone I was sharing this with. So I decided to dive deeper and I actually became certified in the field. So I became a certified regenerative health practitioner. So those are a little bit about how Jillian and I ended up here and why we're sharing this information. So let's start to dive deeper into why we're here. Why are we here today? Let's talk about weight. And I'm going to start with a few statistics just so you can get an idea. But 50% of Americans are dealing with weight issues. And, let's be honest, a majority of us think about it regularly, or you probably hear about it from especially your close friends and family. But in general, we're dealing with an obesity epidemic. Across the globe, 700 million people are deemed obese. And so this is a huge reflection of our overall health and a huge imbalance of our gut microbiome and the health of all of our major body systems, especially our nervous system, our lymphatic system, our digestive system, and our endocrine system. So we're going to talk about a few of those systems today. But skinny, like our slide says, skinny doesn't always mean that we're healthy, right? I can speak to this for sure, that malabsorption and pancreas issues can keep a lot of us from utilizing the nutrition that we need in order to function properly, to keep weight on, to stay in balance, to reduce brain fog. So there is a balance sometimes when we think, oh, that person, they never gain weight. Well, they may have a malabsorption issue and may have deeper um, issues getting the nutrients that they need into their bodies. So, what if we could really understand how our bodies work and how our hormones affect our weight? So, rather than just focusing on deprivation diets and the latest trends and quick fixes and extreme exercise routines, what if we were able to understand how the connections were there, um, and get to the root cause? When we're focusing on things like deprivation diets and always like working out and always thinking about the next, quick fix, then we can kind of get obsessive and out of balance, and it's just unsustainable as a lifestyle. There can be a lot of disappointment and frustration. So instead, we want to, use mind shift and mindset and focus on getting to the root cause of our issues. We want to stop putting band-aids on our symptoms, and we really just want to regenerate our bodies and return to vibrant health. And so the goal that we do as regenerative health practitioners is we work with our clients to get better and to get healthy. And of course, this will look different in each of us. But in general, Americans are overtoxic, we're undernourished, and this deeply affects us at a cellular level. And our health is simply when our body's functioning, when we return, when our body is function as they were designed to. And our bodies are really intelligent. It's really cool that we're meant to naturally, we're created to naturally detox, right? But unfortunately, we live in a super over toxic environment at this point. Like there's just stuff coming at us at all times, everywhere we go. And so we're not fully designed to handle this amount of toxic load. And so we need to take time. We need to take time, just like we change the oil in our car. We need to clean up our bodies. And we do that through nourishment and detoxification. And then we're able to do those things I talked about earlier. We're able to digest our food properly without it fermenting. We're able to absorb those nutrients that we put into our bodies. And then our body can utilize that nutrition, and then finally, we're able to eliminate the things that we don't need. If there's anything toxic, if there's anything added to our foods, anything that our body is like, nope, that's not for me. This is where we come back into balance, and that's when we can raise our baseline of health. And so I'm going to pass it on to Jillian, and just she's going to talk a little bit more about weight at this point.
So, like Lindsay said, our elimination pathways are one of the number one things that we work on with our clients. If our kidneys or skin, lungs, bowels, if they're not able to work optimally, our lymphatic system gets backed up. And our lymphatic system is really our sewer system. These lymph nodes that we have all through our body are like our septic tanks. So we want to be able to be eliminating all of our cellular waste and all of the waste that we're being bombarded with at all times, whether it's the food we eat or what we put on our skin or what we're breathing outside. We want all of that to be detoxing on a regular basis. And realistically, our body is working so hard at all times. Our body is not able to detox as optimally as it is meant to do because it is so overloaded. So, what we do is we help people seasonally or annually or through specific health struggles. We help people gently really nourish and also detoxify while supporting the whole body and specific pieces, systems and organs of the body to really thrive. So the body's working so hard because it needs to keep our blood at a certain pH at all times. So it's 7.4. And it does this, our body's so intelligent that it does this by using things that it has to buffer all of the acids, all of the toxins that are coming in. And it gets really interesting when we start to talk about this with people because we think of toxins as maybe glyphosate in our food or the air that we breathe when we are in a city. But it's everything. It's even the emotional stressors that we feel every day. It is the environment that we're living in. It is everything that we experience in our life. And all of those things are actually acidic to our body. So you can't really see this well, but this is a pH chart, and we use this with our clients, and it has like the emotions on the bottom. We have like more detailed charts like this too, and but then there's columns with all the foods. And we're not into deprivation dieting. We're not into fully eliminating or detoxing, fully eliminating things from your life or detoxing long term. But having a balanced lifestyle and understanding what foods are alkaline and what foods are acidic, and finding a middle ground, and then just understanding that, like, if I ate a lot of something that's really acidic, maybe that night or the next day, I would want to concentrate on eating foods that are more alkaline. And you just learn how to really listen and tune into your body and match what is going to better how you feel and how your body operates all the time. And then when we are in detox mode, when we are actively doing a detox, we really stick to those alkaline foods. So the body uses what it already has to buffer those acids to keep it safe. And those things are cholesterol, which leads to high cholesterol levels, water, which leads to retaining fluids and feeling puffy, which is like my number one, what my body does for me. Calcium, which leads to bone loss. Like, how many people do you know now that have osteoporosis or just like weak bone structure? And it also uses fat, which leads to weight gain. The body's using these very alkaline things that it already has to buffer and maintain the blood pH from the acidic environment that we live within. So this is why a high alkaline diet, breathwork practices, gentle movement, meditation, and all the things we teach in regenerative health is really beneficial to the body, because it balances today's acidic lifestyle. And it comes down to the fact that extra weight is really just extra and excess waste. And that will damage the cells. And damaged cells are what lead to symptoms and are what lead to disease, from arthritis and skin conditions to neurological disease, which is so on the rise right now, cancer, diabetes, hormonal imbalances, and on and on. So really, we live in this epidemic of normalized disease, which is where Lindsey and I come in, and we do not want you to accept that.
Okay. So we know what weight is now. It's that excess accumulated waste. And so when we want to put it together, so how does the weight loss or gain relate to our hormones? So I'm going to talk about hormones for a little bit. And hormones are chemical messengers, and they have many, many functions in the body. And they are the direct communication between our gut, our brain, and the glands of our endocrine system. And our body makes all kinds of hormones that regulate all sorts of functions that we need to survive and thrive. It's like amazing when you start to learn about hormones, all the different things that they do. So you've probably heard of cortisol and estrogen and testosterone. Those are kind of hormones that are naturally often talked about. But we have so many more. There's insulin, which is what absorbs our sugar. There's leptin, which regulates our fat storage. There's ghrelin, which is our hunger hormone. And of course, there's our thyroid hormones, which controls our metabolism. And there's a lot of people now dealing with either hypo or hyperthyroid problems. So we want to ask as we get to the root cause, so where are a majority of our hormones made and released? Well, in our endocrine system. And if you don't know all of the glands in your endocrine system, that's okay. I didn't before I knew, and I didn't know where they were before I started studying this stuff. I don't expect you to. But our endocrine system is made up of our pituitary gland, our thyroid, the parathyroid, the thymus, the hypothalamus, the ovaries, the testes, and our adrenal glands. And our healthy hormones are produced here or released here. And again, those chemical messengers between the glands. So let's put it all together. If you're interactive and able to, drop a 1 in the comments if you've ever heard that your gut is your second brain. And I'm not seeing the comments right now, so Jillian, just let me know if you can see that. But it's kind of a common thing at this point. People say that, in regenerative health, we like to say it's our first brain, but so you may have heard that your gut is your second brain. And why? It's because our glands work together and they relay the information through those chemical messengers, our hormones. So the hypothalamus and the pituitary and the adrenals all talk to each other. It's like this big circuit of like the CEO and the case managers, like all this thing, like talking about what does our body need? Okay, I'm going to relay this and relay that, and I'm going to excrete these hormones. I'm going to send this off, and they have major communication throughout the whole body. And guess where they receive all of their communication directly from? No other place than our gut. So this is super important to understand. And this is like, I think, a missing piece for a lot of people. Most of us living today, we have an imbalanced gut microbiome and a buildup of mucoid plaque. And these things can cause a major disruption in the communication between the brain, the gut, and our hormonal endocrine system. And so, what about leaky gut? So drop a 2 in the comments if you've ever heard the term leaky gut. Again, it's another common phrase that's thrown around the internet and social media, but I don't think people really understand what leaky gut is. I mean, it definitely sounds kind of like it is. It's when the tight junctions of our gut have been compromised, and they're compromised by things like glyphosate, which is a common pesticide that's sprayed basically on all our food. It's water soluble, it's in our air, it's in just about everything. Our air and our water sources and sprayed on our food. So it's like we're all dealing with this at all the time. And so if our gut can't communicate with the endocrine system, then the proper hormones cannot be released. So when any of these signals are down, everything else will go down. We're going to have trouble sleeping. Our mood is going to be dysregulated as well as our nervous system, our stress levels, our skin, our hair, and then of course our weight. And the list really goes on and on. And so the connection between our gut health and the health of our endocrine system is what we as practitioners, what Jillian and I and the community that we're in, we see this, and we've found that when we address this as a root cause for a lot of things, we address the adrenals, we look to see what's going on with the thyroid. So many of our clients and our family are getting better, and also in our own journeys. When we are balancing our gut and we start with the gut, we're finding so much more success. We're finding that people are um, improving their health rapidly, and we're getting to the root cause. So our gut is an ecosystem, and we can make it or break it, just like Jillian said before, with what we eat, what we drink, what we breathe. So think about what you use for your household products, and the quality of the air where you live, and what we put on our skin. We know as women, especially, we use a lot of cosmetics and products. What's in those things? And our teacher likes to say, if you can't eat it, we shouldn't be putting it on our skin. And then there's the mindset piece. If we're thinking negative thoughts all the time, we're really going to have to use those buffer skills again to bring ourselves back into an alkaline state, because even our thoughts can be acidic, and we want to stay in more of an alkaline mindset as well.
So this is why the work of regenerative health works. And any transformation takes time, especially if you want it to stick. I slowly made shifts in my diet and lifestyle that are now, I feel like, long lasting. It's been many, many years. And things are just continuing to get better and better as I am ready and willing to, just go to the next level and make personal decisions on what I'm willing to let go of or change. It's all about where you're at and where you want to be. So I had severe symptoms and diagnoses go away. I was told I needed a hysterectomy. And that was really when I went deep into detoxification, because I gave a middle finger right up to to the person who told me that. I mean, not really, but it pretty much in words. And was like, nope, you're not putting a knife to my body. I'm going to figure this out. And thankfully, she was extremely supportive, being a plant-based eater herself, which I am not, by the way. I'm fully omnivore. I'm a farmer. We raise animals, but my diet, what I eat and how much animal products I eat has drastically changed over the years because of my own health and the serious changes that I've seen that it makes. And so I am no longer in need of a hysterectomy. I no longer am diagnosed with PCOS or endometriosis. And the chronic inflammation that I have actually dealt with since I was an early teenager has really decreased to an amount that I am, baffled by. And it all has to do with just diet and lifestyle and some detoxification utilizing herbs and some pretty cool science driven biohacks. I no longer carry the water retention and bloating in my stomach that I just kind of felt like was part of who I was and just what my body did. Um, and these changes have been consistent for me for a number of years now, and I would never choose to go back. But it did take time. It wasn't like, I felt change and positivity, radical results immediately, but the big changes and the long lasting changes, of course, they take time. So this is a very obviously full mind body approach. And one of our mentors always says, don't be dazzled by the diagnosis, just do the detox. And we really stress that with our clients. It doesn't actually matter what we are handed. It's the root cause really just comes down to your cellular health. And a lot of that has to do with your gut. And it is just all systemic in your whole body. And to just do the detox is what we believe really makes a transformation for somebody who is dealing with minute, annoying symptoms to somebody who has been diagnosed with a very scary disease. So coming back to weight imbalance and the roller coaster that so many of us are on, whether it's that couple pounds that makes all the difference of how we feel in our skin to, the 30 pounds that we have gained because we've hit menopause or because of the lifestyle we lead. We've had clients that just tone up and feel really good in a couple months. And then we've had clients that lose 35 pounds in a few months and have sustained that over time because of just these three tools. The first is nutrition. Flood your body with nutrition, micro and macro nutrition. Food that comes from the earth, that is grown in soil, and that carries the life energy that our bodies need to thrive. We fully believe in 100% organic. But of course, we live in this world. Sometimes we're traveling. Maybe we can't afford it. The best that we can do is the best we can do. And it's all going to make a difference. But it just comes down to the quality of food we eat directly contributes to the quality of life we live. And I always thought I ate really well. I grew my own food. I cooked 3 meals a day. But obviously, my digestion and the systemic inflammation in my body was not showing that. And it really, like we said, we utilize this one program with almost all of our clients. It wasn't until I started with this superfood company and started bringing in these proprietary blends of fruits and veggies, of pre and probiotics, of just all these sea vegetables that really made a difference in how I felt. It changed all the symptoms that I was dealing with. It also made my endurance as an athlete like skyrocket. So the exact products that we love, just a couple of them, just so it's not such a weird unknown, is amino acids, and then a herbal capsule that is clinically proven to remove glyphosate, and then a variety of different powders that are all whole food also. And you just put them in water and give them a shake or put them in a blender and make an amazing fruit smoothie. So it's really something that's easy to just bring in your life without making any major changes. Or you can do a full program and do some food eliminations to figure out what might be causing you any uncomfortable symptoms. Herbs. So, for detox and cellular regeneration, number two on the list, herbs are nature's medicine. It's incredible the simplicity of singular herbs and the beauty and efficacy, um, the beauty and power of herbal formulations. We recommend herbs in all forms. I own a small herbal tea company and make tinctures for friends and family. And then we work with a number of amazing herbal companies across the country and in Canada. Herbs are amazing detoxifiers and they fully help clean out the systems of our body, eliminating toxins and strengthening the tissues and glands. So that's detox and cellular regeneration. And then mindset and community. We wouldn't have been able to get where we are, or I wouldn't have been able to get where I am without the support of so many mentors and community of other people who were in a place that I was in. Um, that, yeah, not at all. And that is the difference of doing this alone, like I was trying to do, and doing it with a group program or mentorship or practitioner.
So, if you are looking to transfer, to transform your life within a few weeks, you're going to need the right nutrition.
Mm.
You're going to need herbs. You're going to need tools, and some of these tools can include the mindset work, breath work, movement. Um, so there's a maze of knowledge. We know there's a lot of programs out there, but Jillian and I can make it really clear cut for you to just experience, all these things to get positive results. And all of our bodies are often whispering to us, and we don't want these to become screams. We hear that a lot in our world of like, don't let your screams become, sorry, don't let your whispers become screams in your body. And we really do work with all different ailments, um, the ailments that are coming up in your body, the pain, the discomforts. We work with different interests of, people just wanting to learn to do this. And we really try to cater it so that everyone can match this for their own budget. Basically, all you really need is to be ready for some sort of change in your lifestyle. And again, we do this with small shifts so that it's lasting. And in order to find that balance, we really do work with the nutrition, the detox, and cellular regeneration, and mindset and community. And we've really made it so that every step of the way it can be graceful and doable because we don't want anyone to be, feeling depleted or like that it's unsustainable or they're not able to do it because they have a family or a job or a busy lifestyle. And we not only, do our private one-on-one health consults, but we've created a group that you can be part of so that you can relate with other people and we can do this collectively as community. And so when we have the desire to change, you know, there becomes that question of like, oh, now I actually have to do something about it. So even if you don't fully trust that your body's that you have that ability to reverse your ailments, we have tools and we have the mind body exercises that can assist you in turning your life in the directions you desire. So just take a moment to, really listen deeply. And if you feel pulled magnetically to do something more, then we would love to hear from you. We know that there's a lot of options out there on how to lose weight and how to feel better. And it can be really overwhelming. And rather than start or freeze and do nothing and don't make any changes at all, or try something but don't get the results, we know that there's like that roller coaster. I've tried this and I've tried that. We want it really accessible for you. So it can be really confusing to know what to do. So in our program that we're going to be talking about next, we're going to lay out kind of what we're going to offer. So in our program, we address what to eat and kind of when. Like we've got proper food combining. We talk about what herbs to use to support specific body systems, especially what I just talked about with the endocrine system, but also the nervous system, digestive system, holistically over the whole body. We don't just look at one thing. We always treat the body holistically, and then how to rebuild the gut, and open our elimination pathways. And we build rhythm and routine with weekly classes. We have check ins, and we have one on one consults throughout the whole thing. So you'll have an initial consult, a mid to see how you're going throughout, and then at the end. And we really focus on cleansing, and we do it the right way. um, if you're not doing it the right way, it can really lead to depletion. It can lead to, more discomfort in the body, and we don't want that for you at all. So, again, we heal the body holistically, and we get to the root cause of your weight roller coaster, which is specific to you. Along with anything else that you might have: fatigue, high or low blood pressure, diabetes, candida, and even emotional blockages that we would like. So, this is healing at the root cause in a way that's specific to you and your journey. All right. So I want to bring it back to you. Um, and I hope we're on the same slides. Jillian, I'm on the what are the symptoms in your body you want to reverse? Great. Okay. So um, it's that question again. What do you experience in your body that's uncomfortable? What's annoying? What's painful? Just, I'm sure they can just pop right up in your head, right? You know your body. I don't know your body. You know your body. It could be something that you experience daily, all day long, or just regular enough that it's limiting you to enjoy the things that you love to do or that you dream of doing. And, how does that make you feel when you're like, I can't do this specific thing because of X, Y, or Z? And, that could be how you get up in the morning, how you fall asleep at night. Do you remain asleep through the night? Are you waking up feeling energized like you want to? Or do you feel ready for the day? Do you have mental health things that are going on? So we're living in a really fast paced world, and sometimes we need to take the time. We need to slow down and take care of ourselves and to learn how to heal our bodies, to support and strengthen our nervous system, and to give respect to the feelings that we're having and learn what we feel. So in our program, we also move into a little bit of the spiritual aspect, and whether you relate to a specific religion or source, it's very relatable, and it all brings it back to that you have the answers inside of yourself and to trust your own body. So what would it be like to alleviate your symptoms and create just to be in your life and your body and to create and do the things you love and increase your work productivity, or be able to move or spend time with your kids or your grandkids and not be in pain? And what is it? What is that drive to make you feel better in your life? And why are you here? Why did you sign up? What piqued your interest? So, again, you can jot those down. You can journal it if you feel comfortable and you want to throw it in the chat. We'd love to hear from you. Especially those, if you're listening to this in the recording and you want to just kind of journal that, like, yeah, what is it? What is it that's stopping me from being my best self? Just take a moment and go ahead and do that. And then Jillian's going to talk a little bit about more of what we have upcoming for you.
Yeah, so this is where I get really excited because I've been working with clients one-on-one, but this is my first, and then collaborating with Lindsey, our first group program. And we're choosing to use the platform called School. So you are going to be able to see all of what we have learned, and we will be sharing it with you through video modules and really beautiful PDF documents that you could print off if you wanted to, meditations and breath work exercises. But it's going to focus just on a whole body approach of how to balance your weight. And while we guide you through this 10-week program, you will most likely experience a slew of other things, symptoms, annoyances that you feel on a day-to-day basis kind of slip away. So, like I said, it's a 10-week program. We've named it Nourish and Flourish, and it is for anybody who would like to lose or need to lose weight, who is dealing with needing to gain weight and just feel stronger. For anyone who wants to tone up and get in better shape, higher endurance. It's really going to be created based on who is within it and what they need. And then you get those one-on-one consults in addition to the group program and weekly calls that are going to really guide you specifically through your own goals. And you will be supported first and foremost with food. We are true believers in the power of healthy food, and learning how to eat your food in a way that doesn't cause harm to your body. And then there comes the herbs. Like I said, the herbs are so powerful and they're easily accessible and they're quite affordable. And then there comes the detoxification. And if you want to go deeper with enzymes or with stronger herbs, we don't go into fasting, but if you are already like very practiced in detoxification, you can enter the world of fasting. We weave in breath work, movement, mindset. So it is a well-rounded program that is 10 weeks long. And then you also have the option to continue with us in this platform if you want to continue working on your goals. So we believe that this is for somebody that is just ready for change in their life. If you have tried other things, other diets especially, if you're feeling malnourished, or unsatisfied, unsatiated, even when you are eating healthy, if you haven't had success working out and exercising, and if you just want to feel more alive and comfortable and confident in your skin, or if you just want to learn and you want the knowledge about how your body works and what tools that are out there that could support your body when things do come up in the future, or how to support your family and friends or your clients if you're another practitioner. So Nourish and Flourish begins April 24th at 7 p.m. The classes will be recorded. So if you can't make it every week, you will always have access to the recording, which will be housed right in school. It is 3 installments of $289. You are not committed to that. So if you do 1 week and feel like you've learned enough, that's that. If you want to continue, you can continue. And you have the option of adding more one-on-ones on top of this, also with either Lindsey and I, if you are dealing with, or if you are in crisis and you feel like you need extra accountability and support. So thank you for being here and thank you for listening to the recording. Lindsey and I both have free one-on-one discovery calls if you just have questions or want to learn more. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, does
Lindsey.
anyone have any questions right now or want any feedback, or hopefully you learned something? If you want to like throw in the chat or come off of mute and tell us something that you learned, we would love to hear back from you. But if not, we know it's Saturday morning and everyone has things to do, but we're just so grateful we're here. Yeah, thanks for being here, Haley. It's really nice to see you. Judy, did you have any questions?
No, I'm all set.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, you guys. It was awesome. I really liked
Jen?
learning some more about what it's going to look like and the program.
Yeah, we're excited. And we have a lot of people who have interest and ask for the recording. So we're going to get that right out.
Yeah. Hopefully April can get it because she wasn't able to get in.
Oh yeah. It was the old link.
Yeah. Yeah. I know you sent it because I got in, but.
Oh, bummer. Okay.
Yep.
Thanks for being here, Jennifer. Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing how this all unfolds.
All right. Well, have a wonderful weekend, everyone.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, Judy. Thanks.